What do you take away from the idea that Chair Janet Yellen wants room? In other words, is it possible that we'll see a recession before we see better growth?
Well, Vonnie, I think we're not going to see much of an acceleration in the economy, whether it's going into the end of this year or really next year. It's still going to be very modest growth. And really, it surprised me. The Fed, I think the equity market expected the Fed to back off of these 3 hikes in 2018. I think, really the December hike was a given for the most part. At least it was in our opinion. But I was a little surprised yesterday. As you saw, the statement came out. The S&P was off about 10 points pretty quick. I thought we'd see some more follow through to the downside because, in my opinion, hiking rates 4 times between now and the end of 2018, that's a headwind for the stock market. I think the bond market thinks it's a headwind, and that's why we're seeing the 10-year yield down where it is right now. So, the reaction in the stock market was a little bit of a mystery to me yesterday. It makes a lot of sense what's happening in the S&P 500 today, and it wouldn't surprise me to see some more downside follow through.
Yeah, and I mean, even today, it's only down 0.3%. It's not a massive decrease. So having, set a forecast for the year, are you thinking about changing it now?
No, we've had we're looking for the S&P 500 to close this year in the 2,300 to 2,400 range. So let's just call it a 4 to 6% pullback from where we are now. And really next year for year-end 2018, which is the targets that we just released, the midpoint of that target range is 2,500. And as you look at your screen, that's right where we are. So we don't see much upside, whether it's the S&P 500, the Russell mid cap, Russell small cap. As a matter of fact, we see some Russell small cap downside from here. A couple of percent, 2 or 3 maybe in the EFA and the emerging markets index. But, for the most part in 2018, if things play out into the end of this year, we'll see some modest returns net in 2017 and more modest returns in 2018.